Well, the Final Four is set, and they all are blue bloods. The Big Ten had 9 teams in the dance, and they've all been bounced. Hello, everyone. I'm Tiberi. Welcome to our NCAA Roundtable, joined by Dave Holmes and Adam King from 10 TV, and by Timmy Hall and former Buckeye basketball player Joey Lane, 97.1 The Fan. The Buckeyes were knocked out, Dave, in the second round. Since then, E.J. Liddell has declared for the NBA. Do you think, it's not a surprise, but did he make the right decision, and is he a first-round pick?
Yeah, I mean, I think he made the right decision because I don't think there's much to gain by coming back. He's not going to get any taller. I think he is what he is at this point. So, yeah, it's the right decision. Is he a first-rounder? I think so. I think there's so many projects in the NBA draft. It's a crapshoot now. Back in the early, mid-'90s, you knew what you were going to get. You don't anymore. So I think he's more established. I don't know where he fits as far as, is he too small for this? Is he too slow or faster? I think position is the main thing. But I do think it's the right move to go because he's going to make first-round money. That's guaranteed life-changing cash. Go take it.
All right, Joey, the big question, Malachi Branham, the super freshman. Boy, he grew up before our eyes. He has a decision to make. What do you think he will do? What should he do if you were advising him? And is he a first-round pick?
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty safe to say that if he goes, he is going because he's a first-round pick, and he should be a first-round pick. And, if I'm Malachi, if I'm in his circle, I'm telling him to go get that money, young man. I mean, I love the guy. I know the guy pretty well now. He's a great kid, got a great head on his shoulders, and there's no doubt in my mind that whatever decision he makes, I trust him that he has done the due diligence to make the right decision. If I was him, I would go. Obviously, it's a little bit different scenario, but if I could go to the NBA today, I would as well.
You wouldn't be here with us?
Wait, I mean, I flip
but
a coin.
you love Chris Holtman, Malachi. You
yes,
must stay.
The Devils are, the Devil's advocate. The other argument would be, all right, do you want to leave a Buckeye legacy? Do you want to go down as one of the all-time greats? Do you want to win a Big Ten championship? All those things are important to him. I know they are. Does that weigh on the decision? Of course. Will it change his mind? I don't think so. I think he is a lottery pick, and he's gone.
Funny thing about the bank, Dom, when it comes time for the mortgage, they don't let you pay in Big Ten championships. They always want cash. They're just weird about that.
Adam, you were the Baker Mayfield of the Big Ten, staking the flag for this conference.
Oh, my goodness.
You had
That's poetry. Is that written?
That's wow.
9 teams.
Somebody's got to be a
You
Baker
staked
Mayfield.
the flag for this conference. You had 9 teams. I believe you had Iowa going to the Final Four.
I think you had him winning it all, Dom.
9 teams.
Yeah. Let's get that wrong.
You guys had fun yet?
Well,
I was wrong!
Let me ask you a question. Is this conference now overrated?
Yes. Is it over? I mean, but there's overrated and there's also still being a dominant conference. Should they have been talked about as the greatest conference ever and talked about how they're very deep? They're the deepest conference without a doubt. But March has to matter at this point, and we've gone a very long time without a Big Ten team raising a national championship. And here we sit with another Final Four, even another Elite Eight, and we didn't have a Big Ten team. And it's hard to claim that you're the best conference. It's hard to claim that everything is just harder in the Big Ten. And I've been a proponent of it. They beat each other up. That's the argument in the Big Ten, and that's what everyone says. Yes, fine, sure. It doesn't work that way in March. You have to show up in March, and teams aren't doing it. I know that I was a big proponent of Iowa State going to the Final Four. Was it Iowa?
No, it was Iowa.
Oh, maybe it was Iowa. I don't know.
It was Iowa.
In the Big 12, they don't beat each other up. They play soft
The
over
thing
there.
is, when you look at the Big 12 conference this year, they were just as dominant in the regular season as the Big Ten, and then they showed up in March as well, and that has to matter. And I think, weirdly enough, this is the year that next year people aren't going to buy in. I think it's, at this point, you've got to prove it again that you are one of the best conferences when it matters most.
All right, Timmy. And by the way, Ohio State did beat Duke, and if Duke wins it all, that is something they can hang their hat on. But
it's a Central Florida championship.
Get
T-shirts. Beat the champs.
They were the simulation championship champion when they didn't have the tournament.
And if Villanova wins, they got it within 2. So there you go.
Well, 2 from the ACC, Duke and North Carolina, are in the tournament. What does that say to you? And I would think everyone out there, and I might be wrong, I would think everyone here, we're all rooting for Coach K to win it, right? His last one.
Oh my goodness! I don't know if that's the true pulse of college basketball fans. Where I sure hope that Coach K wins it. But look, the college basketball.
Who do you root for, by the way?
Who do I root for? Ohio State. Come on,
Okay,
we're the Buckeye
also
show.
A Carolina fan.
No.
I'm a Carolina fan.
Heel fan. Someone might have said there's some Kansas in my background, but either way, there's some blue blood there. Go Weber State too. We're just got. I try to go to every school in the country. Yeah, I try to check out every school in the nation. But the question was Duke and North Carolina. You know, it's crazy, right? We talked about the conference power. Miami. Kansas kind of showed them what it's all about when Miami got taken behind the woodshed in that Elite Eight game. So that one was tough. But you know, it's great to see Duke and Carolina for the first time ever. You probably heard that stat before, right? It's the first time they've ever played in the NCAA tournament. It is shocking. It's really shocking how that could be. These two programs are so incredible. The number of Final Fours and national championships that they have at their disposal, it's really crazy what they've done. And it's who wrote this script, right? How did we get here to where all this would happen? North Carolina's an 8 seed, but they're still a blue blood. They're one of the most powerful brands in the history of college basketball. We know that. And I don't know, is Coach K going to be able to actually retire if he loses this game, or is he going to have to come back and have a second retirement tour? Because you can't go out if you lose to North Carolina in a Final Four.
I thought it was kind of interesting that North Carolina fans flexed their muscles after they beat Duke in Coach K's final game of the rivalry. And now they got to go do it all over again. Here we go again.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Kansas in years past, and Timmy Hall is he likes the Jayhawks, and you know
he's a man of the people.
They gave me a degree that I maybe earned.
Anyways, in years past they have been a bracket breaker. I mean they have not lived up to their seeds. Terry Tiberi, my wife, every year picks them to win it, and she said, "I'm not picking them this year." Now she's going, "Watch them win."
They owe you some money.
Yeah, well, she's not getting a nickel of it because she didn't pick them. Are they for real?
So
they look for real. My goodness.
Yeah, I think they are. They're the best team left, the most complete team left in the tournament. I think Duke has the most talent left, but I think Kansas is the best team. So at this point, Kansas did what the hard part to do is for the Jayhawks, which is avoid the upset bug. Now it's 4 good teams, and they're one of those 4, so they deserve to be there. I think Kansas is the chalk pick. I think Duke's the emotional pick, but I don't count Carolina or Villanova out of it. I mean, both these games are 4.5-point spread, so it's going to be close. So, yeah, I'm saying right now Kansas is the safest pick left. But, oh, my goodness, Kansas and safe in the same sentence, like you said, has not gone well together.
Joey, Villanova, of course, beat the Buckeyes. They went on to beat Michigan, and now they're in the Final Four. Jay Wright, we all know his history. He's won a couple national titles. Are you on board with Villanova? And that would look good for Ohio State that they lost to – you know, I mean, they lost to a team that won the national title, maybe.
Sure. The problem I have with Villanova is that they just lost their second best player, tore his Achilles. You know, Justin Moore is a huge part of their success. I think Villanova is the poster child for consistency in the NCAA tournament. It's just remarkable that year after year they are in the Elite Eight, they're in the Final Four, they're winning national championships. I'm just worried that without Justin Moore, they only play 7 guys. Now they're playing 6 guys. Got to play Arcidiacono more. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, especially going up against Kansas, who, I was talking to Timmy before this. I think Kansas has the best chance of anybody to cut down the nets, and like we just talked about. So poor Justin Moore. I feel so bad for the kid. I feel so bad for Villanova because they were poised to 100% make a real run at this championship.
It was really cool what they did, though. Right when that game was over, if you guys didn't see that, the Villanova players, they went right to the end of the bench where Justin Moore is sitting there with the towel over his head, and that's that culture that Villanova has.
It's unbelievable.
Jay Wright has.
It's unbelievable.
You know, Adam, we were talking last week about the parity that's in college basketball, and St. Peter's had a run and all that, but at the end of the day, you've got 4 blue bloods in the Final Four. Is there as much parity in college basketball as we thought there was, or is it, the haves and have-not?
Well, I think when you look at the Final Four, there's one thing they all have in common, and it's the coaches. And yes, there's talent on the court, an exponential talent when you look at Duke and Villanova and Kansas and North Carolina. But when you talk about the culture with Jay Wright, when you talk about Coach K, you talk about Bill Self. Obviously, North Carolina is a little different, starting off with a new coach, but I think that comes back to so much of what March is. Being there, playing in those games, and understanding how to win those games, even when things aren't going your way. And that's where it's like Villanova's free throw shooting. I think it's one of the most insane things because it's such an easy thing. And so many say, oh my gosh, it's a free throw. You stand there and make your shot. But it's hard to make free throws, but not at Villanova because it's just the culture that Jay Wright has instilled in these guys. And I think that really is the difference. When you look at St. Peter's against North Carolina, I think we were all fans of the Peacocks there. Everybody wanted to see a 15 seed in the Final Four. But at some point, it comes down to sheer talent. And when you add in the coaching, that's how you end up with so many of these blue bloods in the Final Four, competing year in and year out. And now, I mean, as much as it's frustrating to see chalk, we get to see Kansas and Villanova play a game.
Well,
we get to see Duke and North Carolina play a game in the Final Four.
And Carolina is the perfect example of, you know, we know the talent is there. We know the star power's there. New coach, got to blend it in. But they started to play great late.
Yeah, they started playing good ball mid-February.
Exactly.
Really.
They won. Yeah. It's like what Hubert Davis got a little perturbed at one question about, like, oh, back to the Wake Forest game. He's like, really? We're going to talk about the Wake Forest game now? We've won like 15 of our last 18. They got hot, but they did stack it late. So even like body of whole is always going to be looked at, right? With the metrics and with Ken Pom and with the net rankings. But of course, it's better to be playing great late.
Don, I'll say this about the college basketball tournament. On the one hand, it's the most fair tournament in all of sports because everyone who's slightly worthy gets a chance. But weirdly, it's the least fair in all of sports because the one and done doesn't reward. So it's this weird dichotomy of the most fair system and yet the least fair because the best team rarely wins a college basketball championship.
But I will add to this, and I had this debate the other day. Do you think that the best team is not in the Final Four right now?
No, I think they are.
Okay, now go back last year. Baylor, do you think they were the best team?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you keep going back, the Final Four.
Pretty crazy, right?
The picture never looks like who the best teams are. And I was the proponent of that it's kind of unfair when you think about who's the real national champion.
But that Ohio State team that lost to Kentucky, that was the best team.
That was the best team. There are outliers, but when you look at it, the champion always seems to be the best team in the end.
All right, Timmy, I saved this for you because you are a spokesman of the people.
The man of the people.
You are a guy that, you know,
the pulse of the nation.
Right there, you are the guy. And when I think of someone that has the pulse, I mean, you are it.
Thank you, John.
There's been a lot of criticism.
You're who I'm going to if I need a pizza or if I need to try that famous
thank you. I got
pasta.
that going for
I
me.
haven't had the pasta yet, but I'm hoping to be invited one day.
I hope to have a pompadour like that. That is, Johnny Bravo wants his hair back.
Nice off right now.
Anyway, there's been a lot of criticism. I don't know if you've seen any of this, of the officiating throughout this tournament. I mean, articles written. I mean, if you watch the announcers are going, I don't know what they're calling. I mean, it has been over the top. Is that fair? Have the Zebras had a bad run this year?
I would say that the Zebras have a bad run every time we flip the TV on, right? Or every time we pay money to purchase a ticket and head to the arena. I think every single time that we do this, the refs have a bad go of it. I do think this, seriously, though. And we're seeing it all across the nation, and we're going to see the state of Ohio jump in as well. Sports gambling is just taking off, and it's just such a rapid rate like never seen before. And people, I think, are looking, when the game doesn't roll their way, people are looking for the most out there excuse, and the excuse is the Zebras. And when we always do that, right? When you lose a game, you don't want to think it's your fault.
But they are only human.
They're human beings.
And
right.
I think it's a little unfair.
Robot refs. Can we do that?
I mean, come on, it goes this quick, and you know when you get the benefit of slow motion, I mean those guys aren't seeing it like that, and some of those refs, you know, I mean, I don't know, maybe they need to have an age limit. You hate to say that. Oh my God. I'm an older guy, but I mean, you know, it's not easy running up and down the floor.
Once you're 50, you're out.
It's just a thankless job. You know, it's
really
one of the only jobs in the world where if you're doing it perfectly, nothing is said about anything. And no one cares if you're bad. Oh my gosh, are they going to let you know about it?
Dom, I want to know from you as a viewer, when you get to the final 2 minutes of any of these games now, everything goes to the monitor. Every single tipped ball. Should we have a number of challenges and you get maybe one to use in the final 2 minutes?
Don't you want it to be right?
And that's
my thought is the other way.
Should they not do it the whole game?
Well, Mike, you're telling me it was the Baylor-North Carolina game. Something happens with 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock, and we can't look at it, but 1:59 we can?
This signal is just becoming obnoxious.
You know the worst
Let's go to the monitor.
Is that you go to the monitor with a minute 45, then it goes to overtime, which is later in the game.
Yes. Yes.
And you don't go to the monitor. How is overtime later in a game?
I just love with 19 seconds into the game, the St. Peter's player blocks a shot out of bounds, and he thinks it goes off the North Carolina guy, and he's going like this.
Give it.
And the ref's like, dude,
we just got here.
I don't know of any games that were cost by the officiating, and we can debate after this, but I just think that they got a thankless job, and I'm on the side of the officials. I mean, I don't know a better way to do it, and you can whatever, but you know, there's no way I would want to be an official. Let me tell you that much.
You sound like a man of the people being with the officials.
Dom did say that we should age out officials. You heard it on the
Well, I just said it's not easy. I don't know.
Dom is called for the ageism of officials.
No, what I'm saying is it's not an easy job. I mean, you're running up and down a court with 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. I mean, you know, I don't know how you fix it. Guys, there are 4 teams left. It is now moment of truth time. I'm going to start with Timmy Hall. Timmy, who wins the national title? And who do you have in the title?
Oh, no. You know, this is weird. I'm actually going to be at a wedding. This is typical for a K-State guy. He's having his wedding on a Final Four Saturday, and he's going to make a Kansas guy go to it while the Final Four game is being played. I cannot pick my alma mater to win a national championship. I can't do it. There's only one for Bill Self. In all his time there, 26 conference championships, only 4 now, and the one title, and it was a crazy comeback over Memphis. I can't pick him. I'm picking North Carolina. I hate to do it, but I'm picking the North Carolina Tar Heels. They're going to beat Duke again. Oh, and they're going to rip the hearts out of the Jayhawk fans in the national championship game.
Sports bettors fade the heels. Okay, what next?
So you have Carolina winning the national title.
Yes, I do, and it hurts.
Wow. All right.
Well, you know, last time out, I gave you guys Duke versus North Carolina in the Final Four. That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
I gave you that. So,
pat him on the back, Don.
I guess I can't do North Carolina because Timmy just picked North Carolina. So I'll put the jinx on the Jayhawks. I think that they have gone under the radar the entire season. They were preseason number 1, maybe if not number 2. They get Remy Martin. They get all these guys. Everyone is taunting them as they're the guys. They're the guys to beat this year. And now they've gone the whole season, the whole tournament without anybody talking about them winning. Therefore, they will cut down the nets against North Carolina because Duke ain't winning that game.
Woo!
Wow. All right, Davey.
Wow, so far we have 2 guys and they both got it wrong. Interesting. Okay, so Duke is going to win the national championship. And again, I am a Carolina fan. Duke's going to win the championship. They were so fired up after Carolina embarrassed him. Coach K had to saunter back onto that court at Cameron and give a speech after he got his tail beat by his hated rival in his last game.
He told the fans to hush up.
Yes. He was a cranky old man sending soup back at a deli. And then, so now they're refocused. And the thing is, they have the most talent. So you have the best coach and the most talent. They probably have 5 first-round players on that team. I think Duke wins the national championship.
The Iowa Hawkeyes next week. No, I think this is perfect because it's the only team that nobody's picked. I think so many are down on Villanova because of the injury and because of the ACL. But this Villanova team always finds a way. They are consistency at every step of the way. I think the Kansas game is tougher than the national title game for them. And I think they beat Kansas. I do think this. I think we get our first buzzer beater in true storybook fashion, and I think it's that North Carolina-Duke game. I think Duke hits a buzzer beater over North Carolina, but then Wright.
Who hits it?
Where on the court is he? Trying to visualize. Where on the court is he standing?
I think Duke hits a buzzer beater against North Carolina. Wow. They write the storybook. Everybody's ready for Coach K, and then Jay Wright ruins everything. And it's Villanova.
I'd pay for that.
And
Sorry.
I thought everybody was rooting for Coach K.
No, he's great.
All right. All right.
But if Duke wins, you print the shirts. Ohio State with the score over
National
Duke.
That's the only thing I'm holding on to.
Well, let me just say this, Joey. I mean, if I'm Coach K, I'm saying, what did I ever do to you to earn this disrespect from the Godfather?
Coach K is a Chicago guy, and he didn't recruit this guy. That's where it is.
Well, anyways, the way I see it, I agree with Dave.
There we go.
I think it is going to be Villanova over Kansas. I'm taking Nova, and I'm having Nova play Duke in the national title. And Coach K, everyone except for a couple people at this table is rooting for Coach K.
I think you're way off there.
And so, well, you're rooting for Iowa. Anyways, I got Coach K, and he goes out, he rides off on his white horse, and I agree 100% with you. That dude has been on a slow burn ever since what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, to have to come out and do that speech with his family and everyone there. Are you okay? Anyways,
he can't take all this Coach K love. It's broken the chair.
We're going to go because Joey broke the chair. He got upset about Coach K, and he flexed some muscles, and he broke the chair. He got all tensed up. Anyways, great stuff, guys. We'll see who's right on this. Of course, Kansas will get beat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And of course, it will be Duke. Guys, good stuff. Keep it on 10 TV. 97.1 The Fan for all your sporting needs. Of course, the best Buckeye coverage there is. For Dave Holmes, Adam King, Timmy Hall, and the man that broke the chair, Joey Lane. I'm Dom Tiberi saying thanks for watching.